This is going to be fun. A little holiday episode here of the big program with Stonebridge. It is the Retirement Compass radio show with Stonebridge Wealth Systems. And Merry almost Christmas. You fellows have your list attended to there, your Santa list?
I'm actually doing pretty good this year.
Are you? What about you, Mr. Kulhanek?
What were we talking about today?
Okay. All right. He hasn't started. Okay. I do have a joke for you. Are you ready?
Yep.
We're ready. We're always ready.
What are a Christmas tree's favorite treats? If you were a Christmas tree, what would your favorite treat be?
Pine meal.
Ornaments. You're welcome. Well,
that was good.
Ornaments.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're so welcome. Glad to have everybody listening. As I said, Retirement Compass radio show with Stonebridge Wealth Systems. You can find them anywhere here in the Midwest. Oh my gosh. Expanding the globe of the Midwest. I'm Jackie Selby, and hi, Tim Kulhanek, and hi, Jeff Gove. Haven't seen you guys in a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen you for a long time. I'm sure you've missed me dearly, and I apologize for keeping you away from me.
What's the deal with that?
Been busy, man. I've been really busy. I just, as of this recording, I literally got home last night from Phoenix, was doing some work down there.
Oh, good.
It was chilly in Phoenix.
That's what I heard.
It was in the 40s.
People were wearing jackets.
Yeah, everyone was bundled up. So, there was no, when I tell people I go to Phoenix for work, they're like, oh, yeah, gosh, do you get to go to the pool? There was no laying by the pool.
No,
it was, the highs were in, the low 60s. So it was, for Phoenix,
it was chilly for Phoenix.
Yeah. And then it was straight up in the 40s at night.
Wow.
Sun went down, and it got pretty cool. So.
Pretty cool on the desert floor there.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about some retirement. What do you think?
Let's do it.
That's literally what we do.
Yeah,
Who we
I
are.
know,
What we're
and
about.
so very well. People living longer. Longevity risk. What's the risk? Or even how do you assess somebody's projected lifespan? Are there some actuary tables or something like that, Mr. Gove?
Well, yes, I'm sure there are. And you could use average life expectancy. You could look at your parents, your grandparents. How long did they live? But I have a lot of guys come in and they say, "Well, Dad lived to 70, Grandpa lived to 70, so I'm just going to plan to 70." That could be a major mistake. Just because what if you live till you're 90, and you only plan until 70, the odds of you running out of money go up significantly the longer that you live. So we want to plan that you're going to live a longer life. If you don't, you're not going to care, right? If you live longer than you expected, that could lead to financial problems.
And I find this really funny. The brothers in my family, I have a lot of siblings, and my dad only lived till 65, so that was their standard. Well, Dad only lived till 65, and now I have 3 brothers who are beyond that age. So there they are every single year. I'm like, look, you made it past Daddy's age. I hope they planned as well as we're talking about here on the big program. I could just tell you that much.
So I'm on longevityillustrator.org right now. For
Great.
those of you watching, you can see what I'm doing, that I'm not paying attention to
It's okay.
Jeff and Jackie. But, come on.
Very funny.
It wasn't meant to be funny.
I thought you were taking notes.
Taking notes so I can learn. Everyone be quiet. Jeff is instructing. He's preaching. The gospel of finance. So let's assume that you're 59 right now. We're going to do this in real time. Wish I could show it on the screen, but you just have to illustrate it in your mind's eye.
Okay.
And you're a man. You're 40. No. You're not the former Oklahoma State football coach, Mike Gundy. You want to accuse somebody of something, you do it to me. Everybody out there who knows what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And you're going to retire at 65. And you don't smoke, and you're in average health. We're going to hit results. And it says probability of living to a certain age. And statistically speaking, it says 65 is 100%, 70 is 94%. But let's go to 85. There's a better than 50, a coin flip chance you live to 85 if you're in average health, okay? Now, if you're in poor health and you're 59 and you retire at 65, there's still a 64% chance that you live to 80.
Wow.
What? If you're in poor health, there's a 23% chance. So 1 out of 4 times you're going to make it to 90. So to Jeff's point, when you just base it off of like my dad's dad he died at 75. Okay. My dad will be 80 in February. So what if he had just assumed like, well, I guess 75's it. Well, praise God, he's still with us. And that's 5 years beyond what his dad lived. Now, if you're in excellent health, you're like I run into a lot of these guys, Jeff, you probably do too, where they're out, they're cycling, they're playing pickleball. Golf is like, well, yeah, I play golf. I mean, no, I don't get a cart. I walk 18 holes.
Right.
I'm doing 36 holes on Saturday. Okay. You're in excellent health. You don't smoke. Let's say you're 65 already and you retired at 65. Let's update our results. There's a 43% chance, and this is from the Society of Actuaries, by the way. So it's from the Society of Actuaries Research Institute and the American Academy of Actuaries. And what is an actuary? It is basically an accountant that just didn't have the personality to be a CPA. Okay, so they become actuaries. I love you guys out there, my actuaries and accountant friends, but you gotta have fun. So there's a 64% chance to 85. There's a 43% chance, almost a 50% chance that as a man you make it to 90. Holy jackrabbit! Now, how about our ladies? Ladies, how about you? You're all in excellent health. There is a 54% chance you make it to 90. There is a 29, better than 1 in 4 chance you're going to make it to 95.
Wowie.
Okay. So when we're talking about planning for things like longevity is what we call a risk multiplier. Do you guys know what I mean by that?
It multiplies the risk.
It collates the copies,
No,
right?
you stop that.
And then it claws them down,
Yep.
but then it gores them up. So, Jackie, thank you so much. You're picking up on this really quickly. I watched Die Hard on the way back from Arizona.
What a great Christmas movie.
It was so good. And as Ellis is talking to Hans, Ellis is like, you guys aren't some, you aren't the Boy Scouts. You guys are professionals. And Rickman's like, you're picking up on this extremely well. Like Rickman, he was so good. But it's like you, Jackie. You're picking up on this extremely well.
Thank you.
It's a risk multiplier because it results in a situation where you'll have more market drawdowns that you'll be experiencing, right? There'll be a higher likelihood that you'll have some sort of chronic health condition that will hit you because you have more runway, right? The game lasts longer. There's more things that could happen if you go into overtime, right? If you think about fantasy football, for those fantasy football nuts, if it's a close game between you and the person you're playing and you've got let's say a running back heavy team, you're hoping that all of your running backs go into overtime because there's more chance for things to happen, for points to be scored. It's the same thing with longevity. It's a risk multiplier. There's going to be, if we figure there's a bear market every 3.1 years, you're going to have more bear markets. You're going to have more chance of health issues. You're going to have more legislative risk because the government's going to change more things during your lifetime. That's why we have to look at longevity as such a serious challenge that we have to navigate and plan for more versus less. Because we plan on you living to 95 and you live to 90. Hey, great, we were covered. If we plan on you living to 80 and you live to 90, we've got a problem.
This is very interesting. Now, I want to hand out your phone number and also a new, very cute little quiz we have for you, StonebridgeRiskQuiz.com, StonebridgeRiskQuiz.com. See how you're doing in that department. Now, to get on the books and have an appointment, see how your risk tolerance, not just risk tolerance, but risk of longevity is, use this number, 866-295-5146, 866-295-5146. Oh, my gosh, you guys have a lot of new tools. I guess in the next segment, we could talk about Social Security. What do you think, Mr. Gove? Is this okay with you?
That.
All right, good.
The cute quiz that we've got, it's cute. Thank you, Jackie.
It is a cute little quiz.
That's what we wanted people to know.
Well, I don't want them to think it's going to restrict them from graduating to the next level. I despise tests and quizzes myself, so I had to use the word cute.
That's okay. That's great. Hey, what do you think about introducing Chad briefly at the beginning of the next segment? Okay,
we're going to do Chad, and he is a new advisor in the Lincoln office.
Yep.
Now, that's terrific. So that will bring it up to you. Let's see, Eli Marduk.
He's more Omaha. We'll say he's Omaha. So it'll be myself, Zach, and Chad here in Lincoln.
Zach and Chad. All right.
Zach and Chad.
Okay, that'll be coming up. Again, to reach out to Stonebridge, this is the number that we have set up. It doesn't matter which office that you'd like to be seen at or that is convenient for you. It just goes to the one phone number, 866-295-5146, 866-295-5146. And the offices include Kearney, Grand Island, Omaha, as we mentioned, the Lincoln office, and, really anywhere, because you guys have clients all over the place, don't you? Because people have sometimes second houses. They move off to Colorado or Florida or wherever it is, and they maintain their relationship with you, and you help them through their retirement years with their plans appropriate to the state that they've moved to. And you are well-versed in how all of that works. Again, on the number 866-295-5146. Be right back.
Did you ever think your retirement would be shared with our government? It's true. Your traditional 401k, IRA, pension, or similar retirement accounts are like a partnership with the IRS. Simply put, they want their tax dollars, and you have them. With our latest tax calculator, you can plug in your own numbers while sitting at home. To find out what your future tax liability could be, scan the QR code or go to stonebridgetaxbill.com.
We have a new character on our cast of characters for the show, Retirement Compass Radio Show with Stonebridge Wealth Systems. And his name's Chad. He's going to be in Are you going to be in Lincoln?
I am.
Oh, that's fantastic. Nice to meet you, Chad. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So how did they decide on you?
I think they were looking for the prettiest face.
Okay.
but maybe not.
Maybe it was experience in humor, possibly. It looks like your humor matches their humor, Chad. Did they give you a humor test?
Well, hopefully that helps me fit in the office.
Oh, I think it will. So, Chad, are you a Nebraska native?
I am. I was born in Beatrice, so just south of here, and actually have lived in Lincoln for the past 13 years.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm officially definitely a Lincolnite.
You're a Lincolnite. And what did your dad do? Was he in business down there?
Interesting enough, yeah. My dad taught for a while to begin his career and then worked at a sporting goods store, but then for 25 years, insurance agent.
Oh.
So he did that for 25 years, and he always told me the story of when his first day, his boss came down and sat in front of him and plopped a big phone book in front of him and said, "Here you go. This is how you're starting." So it's kind of a daunting task.
Start calling these numbers.
Right.
Cold calling.
Right. That's what he did.
That was your lead generation back in the day for your dad, huh?
It was. It was. So thankfully he had been in the community for a long time, knew a lot of people. And so I'm sure he was able to get quite a bit of business from friends and acquaintances.
Oh, sure. And what about you? Is that is that how it worked for you till Kulhanek plopped down the virtual phone book in front of you and say, "Get busy"?
No, no, I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's certainly still a challenge to get in front of people today, and you kind of have to have different irons in the fire. There's nothing wrong with having a niche there that you focus on, but you kind of got to look and accomplish it in several different ways.
Mm-hmm. You got to be a people person. Don't you agree, fellas? All three of you. I know Mr. Gove is still here. For those who are just listening to the show, Jeff Gove is still in the Kearney office. We have Tim and Chad in the Lincoln office. Well, let's see here. Okay, Chad, you better tell us about your family now. You're married, I see.
I am. We've been married. I joke we got married in the year 2000, so it helps me remember which anniversary pretty easily. So if Kelly quizzes me, I'll know. But
so 27 years then?
No,
that's not fair.
No. So wife Kelly, she's a school counselor at Lincoln Southeast, and I have a son, Burke. He is a junior at Lincoln Southeast, and my daughter goes to UNL.
Oh, my goodness. Daughter's the oldest.
She is. Her name's Reagan.
Oh, I like their names, Burke and Reagan.
Burke and Reagan.
Burke is that's a good name, Burke.
You don't want to know where we got that name, though.
Is it an acronym?
No, do you remember the murder mystery JonBenet Ramsey?
Yeah, of course.
That in Colorado. Her brother's name was Burke. We heard it there. That's where we got it. So,
Are you joking me? You're teasing me.
Wow.
That's why. That's where we got it.
Wow, I thought he was Bert. No, he's not Bert. He's Burke.
Yeah. So
Okay, Chad, you just lost the room there with that JonBenet Ramsey.
yeah,
Did not know where that was going. That's not been brought up before.
I didn't either.
I'm here all day.
Impressive that Jack
I'm here all
knew.
day. Tip your waitresses.
You're right.
Remember Charlie Starkweather? Anyway,
Oh, my golly. Oh, gosh. Well, welcome to the Stonebridge team. On the broadcast, I like to give out this one centralized number just so you're not scared that it's not your number to your desk, Chad. 866-295-5146, 866-295-5146. Stonebridge Wealth Systems can help you out with all of the planning involved, to through successful retirement, even before that with investments and tax strategies. So have you met with clients yet there, Chad, on the...
I haven't. I am trying to nail down a license before I'm ready. So that will be first priority, and just learning overall how Tim and everyone does what they do here in their processes and
Right.
how they want things done
Fair
their
enough.
way. And they've obviously been successful, and so why would I not want to kind of follow that pathway?
Well, of course, yes. Learning the Stonebridge rules, right,
Yes.
of operation. That's fair enough. And Tim,
I would call it a philosophy.
is it your philosophy there, Kulhanek?
I think it's philosophy, and like I do want to, for our listeners, point out that Chad is a licensed advisor. It's just that the way, again, the pathway that we like to guide folks down, the way we do things at Stonebridge, we're having him get some additional licensure.
Okay.
To be able to implement the plans and
Okay.
the strategies
Right.
and solutions that we've been working on for the last 15, 16 years here at Stonebridge.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm excited about him having an opportunity to get started helping folks because he's got his securities license, Series 7. He's working on the 65 here. But
Wow.
he's also insurance license. So
Okay.
he's got experience under his belt and he's ready to go, and so really the thing we're going to focus on with him is having him learn, again, the way that our process works. So the retirement compass process, where we focus on the 5 key areas of planning. And for those that maybe are joining us for the first time or haven't heard about this, and I know you can't see me on camera and that's okay, what that is, if you've never heard of the retirement compass, what it is it's a process that looks at what we call the 5 most important areas of your financial life. Income, investment, tax, healthcare, and legacy. What it does is it analyzes all of those, make sure that they're working together, everything's rowing in the same direction to get you from where you are to where you want to be. But at the end of the day, like here's what the important thing is, right? At the end of the day, what that means is after you've gone through our process, whether it's myself, Zach, or Chad, or I guess the guys in Kearney and Omaha and Grand Island, but literally any of our experienced advisors,
Yes.
what it means is once you leave our office, you'll have confidence and peace of mind and be able to spend with purpose because you'll know that your plan has been mathematically tested and stress tested. So you know whether or not it's going to work in good markets or bad, high interest rates or low, high inflation or low, a little bit of longevity or a lot of longevity. You'll know with not certainty, but clarity and have the confidence you need to say, yes, I know the answers to the 3 big questions. When can I retire? Will my money last as long as I need it to? And will my family be okay if something happens to me? That's what we do here at Stonebridge, and that's what I'm excited for Chad to be able to help folks with as well.
Sure. Now, speaking of legacy, just real quick, Chad, we got a new, fun, cute little landing site here, StonebridgeLegacy.net, StonebridgeLegacy.net, since you brought that up, Tim. So I want folks to check that out, StonebridgeLegacy.net. But there's a lot of really interesting tools and good stuff to be found on the web page, the main landing page, StonebridgeIWM.com, StonebridgeIWM.com. And that has all the media stuff on there. We have a YouTube channel. That's where this is going to be. Nobody be scared about seeing all of us in person. But it will list everything, and Tim's TV appearances and Mr. Gove's appearances. That's Jeremy Gove. Big Daddy Gove. We got Jeff here. What are we going to call Chad? We got Chad's nickname to form yet.
His last name's Winter. He's got such a strong name. Why does he need Like,
Oh, Chad Winter. That is
Winter?
a fabulous
like
radio
it seems
name.
like a pen name or something. You know what I mean?
No, it's a radio name, yeah.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. Like, somebody tried to call him Winters, and I'm like, no. He is, the plural for all of the Winters is just Winter. It's like deer. You don't say deers, okay?
That's
He is
fair
the
enough.
Winter.
Chad Winter.
That, despite all that, if you want to, I'll take the default Iceman if you prefer that.
Oh, Iceman. The Iceman cometh.
Yeah, right.
Right. Winter is coming.
That's right.
That's right.
I guess
Gosh.
I've never had a nickname. It's so.
You don't need
If they
one.
want to give me one, that's fine.
No, you don't need one. You've got it already, Mr.
Yeah.
Winter. Not Winters, like Jonathan Winters. No, Mr. Winter. All right. Should we talk on inflation, Tim Kulhanek, Mr. Gove? Do you guys want to do that, or should we talk to your newest member, Chad Winter, some more? It's up to you.
Well, here's what I want to do. So, Chad, what we've been talking about is reasons to continue after investing. Continue investing after retirement. Sorry,
Oh, right.
I kind of bungled that. So, reasons to continue investing after retirement. We started with longevity because you don't know how long you're going to live. Number 2 on our list is inflation. So, what would you say one of the, why is it important to continue investing after retirement, and why is inflation such an important consideration when constructing a retirement plan? What's your opinion?
So, inflation's not going to stop. It's unfortunately we can't shut the door on that. So as long as it's going to be a consideration, investing after retirement can offset that inflationary number. I assume we're talking a lot about the Roth conversions and being able. A lot of people, when you focus on the Roth conversion, they just think of, I got to pay the taxes up front, and they kind of don't look at the whole picture of, well, remember, once it's in the Roth, we can continue to invest that and grow that amount tax-free. Don't forget, when you take that money out, it's tax-free. So I think sometimes people forget that, once it's in the Roth, they forget what we're doing with it once it's there. But no, I'm absolutely a huge proponent of, a huge fan of the Roth conversion because of being able to continue to build that equity up as you age.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm sorry, Tim, I don't mean to stop you, but I do need to give the phone number again, and we'll get started again on another segment if you want to retain Chad. 866-295-5146, 866-295-5146. And the new Roth tool is StonebridgeRothQuiz.com, StonebridgeRothQuiz.com. Be right back.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. The one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Oh gosh, there's just never enough time. We're having so much fun on the show, as we do each and every week. Retirement Compass radio show with Stonebridge Wealth Systems. And sorry, I cut you off there at the end of that segment. Tim, what were you going to add
Yeah, exactly.
about Roth?
You are sorry.
I am.
So what I was going to say is Chad brought a great point, because we talk about the different tax buckets, and he brought up Roth. Well, there's 3 tax buckets. There's taxable, tax deferred, and tax free. And when we're talking about inflation, the reason those are so closely linked is because you don't necessarily, it's not always a prudent thing to invest all of your tax buckets the exact same way. A lot of times, our viewpoint of this is you should not focus solely on asset allocation, which is like how much do I have in stock versus bond, but asset location. In other words, what's my tax allocation should I have the same amount of money in stocks and bonds in my traditional or pre-tax account as I do my Roth account? And like, to us, the answer is probably no, probably not. And I think Jeff would agree, because in a tax-deferred account, I'm growing not just my money, but who else's money? The government's money, right?
Government's.
Right? Well, do I want to take all the risk, pay all the fees, do all of the work to have to split the money with them later on, and they get to decide every year how much they're going to let me keep and how much they're going to take? Well, not necessarily. So the Roth bucket has the greatest potential to not only keep up with, but outpace inflation if you're doing this properly. But so many times people say, Chad, let's say you brought up a Roth to someone. A lot of times their question when you bring up a Roth in general, there's just a fundamental misunderstanding. That's why we do this show. That's why we do the workshops. That's why we do TV shows, is because people will say something like this. And Jeff, I'm sure you've heard this. Oh, Roth. Well, what's the rate of return on that? Well, why is that like not make sense, Jeff?
The Roth is the account type. It's what tells the government how it's going to be taxed. So it's the investments inside of the account that are going to determine your rate of return.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, so it's just the Roth is just the chassis, right?
Exactly. So again, I just wanted to bring up the point that I think Chad, what he was talking about was so timely when it's a discussion on inflation, because the alternative is saying, oh, well, I'm just going to keep this money in a money market fund or in the bank or in a savings account. And so many people right now are getting
in the mattress.
Wherever it is, any of those options, you're getting hosed, because like a lot of people have savings accounts that I still see, and Chad, you probably see this, and Jeff, you as well. They're getting like 0.15% on their savings accounts, and they've got tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in that zero interest ZERP environment. And it's like, man, you're missing the boat. Chad, we were just talking about this a minute ago when I talked about Schwab and how if you just let it sit in their default cash account, what did I say it earns? Like
very little.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you said, 0.25 or
0.05, I think.
0.05.
Well, so many people that have their money at these institutions, they're doing that. Like Fidelity changed, and they have a default that's FCash, FCASH, instead of FDRXX. Well, FCash pays like a quarter of what FDRXX pays. So there's so much money. There's like $6 trillion right now in U.S. denominated money market funds. And a lot of that money could be in money funds like FCash or like Schwab's, reserve insured deposit account that pay diddly squat. And so that's all you're doing there is losing money safely.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money.
The one other thing I wanted to add on on Chad's point with the Roth conversion, I was meeting with a client this week. This time of year is where we're doing a lot of Roth conversions, because we want to be able to look back and see, okay, what was your income for the year? How much did you make it work? Did you have other expenses that you had to take money out of your IRA for? We want to have a known number. So the client I was meeting with, he sat down and he said, well, I don't know if I want to pay the government. And you have to remember, with a Roth conversion, if you have a traditional IRA, it's not a decision of, do I pay taxes or do I not want to pay taxes? If that was the case, it'd be a really easy decision. I mean, we'd all choose, I don't want to pay tax. The fact of the matter is, you're going to pay tax on that. But we can determine, do we want to pay it now at a lower rate, or do we want to wait until the government says you have to start taking money out of these accounts? They're going to tell you how much to take out and at whatever the tax rate is in the future. When you look at national debt, I think tax rates are going up. So let's make educated decisions on when we take money out of the IRA instead of just waiting and seeing what happens.
Boy, is that a good point. This is, it's all part of the education. And like Tim said, that's the whole reason, right? You're on the radio and on TV, and so much marketing is poured into this because people just don't understand that. In my opinion, 866-295-5146, 866-295-5146, because we've studied all of our lives in our own field. And then to turn around pre-retirement or retirement age and decide that we are going to DIY our retirement money. I mean, this is bananas. Don't you want to go and have fun instead of don't you agree with that, Chad? People shouldn't be sitting home studying for the 365 if they're not going to be in this business.
Right. People have, especially with how their lives are today, we're just a lot of busy people, whether it's your family, your job. or if you are retired, there's other things you might want to do, and even if it's just watching your favorite shows on Netflix, it's and why not leave it to some people that's what we do. That's what we do. That's what our expertise is in, is that we want to make sure you have enough money to make it through retirement. And like Tim said, just that, when can I retire? Do I have enough money to retire? And what's going to happen to my money when I'm gone? Mm-hmm. So,
sure, super important point. The unexpected. Do you want to talk about the unexpected, Tim Kulhanek? I know that these opportunities for plenty of spending, they reside even within a good plan. Once you have a plan put together, there are still family obligations, right? There could be long-term care costs that you didn't plan for. Just healthcare in general. Do you want to start with healthcare in general?
How do those expenses show up? Who do they show up like? Think about a movie.
Okay.
A very seasonal movie. It's timely. It involves imported Italian twinkling lights. Total of 25,000 of them. So they show up like our friend Randy Quaid. Is it Randy or Dennis? It's one of the Quaid brothers in Christmas Vacation. Cousin Eddie, right?
It's Randy.
Randy.
Yeah.
Randy. They show up uninvited and unexpected.
Yes.
Okay, that's how these types of things happen. It's not like, oh, well, now my life's consistent inconsistency finally hit. Like, we don't know when these things are going to happen. According to AARP, a study from AARP, the unpaid caregiving that's happening in this country right now, there's around 64 million caregivers that are Americans that are providing care for a loved one. Okay, 64 million. Okay, about 1 out of 4 U.S. adults is providing care for a chronically ill person. Around 8% of the people they're caring for are between the ages of 18 and 34. But get this, around 18% of the caregivers are in that same bracket, 18 to 34. So these are people who are either still going to school, they're trying to get off the ground, get out of debt, save for retirement, take care of a family, put food on the table, and they're also caring for a chronically ill adult. Maybe it's a parent or a grandparent.
Wowie.
And so the reason why we're in such a problem situation with medical expenses in this country, there's a lot of them, but one of them, especially for like chronic illness and what we'd call like custodial type care, care that you're not expected to get better to recover from the ailment, is because of the attitude, I think, and the framework. Around 8% or something like that of Americans have allocated resources to some sort of insurance plan or strategy to address this cost. And in a recent study
8%?
by 8%.
Golly, that's low.
Like nobody. And then here's why. Because a study from Boston College suggested, their like Retirement Research Institute found that roughly 60% of respondents said, oh, if I need any sort of long-term care, I'm just going to use Medicaid, which is a fundamental misunderstanding of how Medicaid works. You don't just like push the Medicaid button and now you have Medicaid. You got to spend down in Nebraska to $4,000 per person. And even if you do spousal impoverishment and say, oh, well, I'm the community spouse that stays at home, she doesn't have to spend down to $4,000. No, but like she gets to keep like one half of the countable assets up to a maximum of like $160,000 or something like that. Not near enough. It's enough to where when the custodial adult passes away, the community spouse will be broke within a year or two, right?
Oh, gosh.
So that just there is a lack of planning, a lack of understanding. People think, well, I'll just use some sort of trust to hide my money so I qualify for Medicaid. First of all, like Shannon Evans, she's an estate attorney out of Vegas. What she would say is, oh, so you're like your plan, your hope for your loved ones is to have them eating like mushy porridge out of a wooden spoon or with a wooden spoon out of a wooden bowl. Like, have you visited Medicaid facilities?
Oh my.
And then there's people who use the anecdotes like, well, I visited a place that they accepted Medicaid and it was actually really nice. Okay, well, most of them aren't really nice.
Right.
So we've got to have some sort of strategy. And the great news is there's like $2.6 trillion in life insurance company reserves in this country right now, according to the Federal Reserve. And a good portion of those are probably that's cash value inside life insurance policies. And a lot of them are old life insurance policies people took out and they never plan to use that. And that could, it's a gold mine for people to do long-term care planning, because if you do this correctly and you repurpose some of those old policies that some guy sold you that told you you're going to have $1 million when you retired in your life insurance, it was going to supplement your retirement, but it didn't play out that way, but you still have $100,000 or $150,000 in cash value or more, that is a great way to repurpose that policy where you still have life insurance. So if you never need any sort of assistance, you die 30 years from now, peacefully in your sleep, having never needed any sort of long-term care type of plan. Well, great. Your family's going to get a tax-free death benefit. But if you do need some sort of assistance along the way, whether it's a cognitive impairment or some sort of a physical ailment, you can rely on that policy. It'll pay out tax-free benefits. It'll actually allow you to take your death benefit while you're alive. It's like almost like becoming the beneficiary of your life insurance policy without having to die. And you can use that money tax-free, which was developed under the HIPAA law years ago. But you never have to live with the thought that I'm paying for something that I hope I never ever have to use. Mm-hmm. That's a solution. And that, if you have old life insurance policies, that would be absolutely be a reason why you should be giving our number a call today.
866-295-5146, 866-295-5146. All right, this is Retirement Compass Radio Show. We'll be right back. Don't leave us now. 866-295-5146.
As Americans, we strive for better. From a better house to a better career to a better life for our children and grandchildren. Better has become the American way. When it comes to your retirement, what does better mean to you? Does it mean more income, a flexible lifestyle, better solutions? A better retirement begins with a financial plan. To get your complimentary written financial plan, call the number you see here. You only retire once. This is your opportunity to plan for better.
Legacy planning. Yes, it is part of the Retirement Compass. Retirement Compass Radio Show with Stonebridge Wealth Systems. The Retirement Compass, including legacy. What do you mean legacy exactly, Mr. Gove?
Yeah, so we actually just did a workshop on this last night and Tuesday in Kearney. Okay. And I think we've got one coming up in Omaha and one in Grand Island next week. But so two things to think about when you're thinking about legacy. I guess first off is the difference between your estate plan and your legacy plan. Okay. So we think they're different and that they should be. So a legacy plan is passing yourself, your values, the things that are important to you, to your loved ones. So that could be things that you're doing while you're living. So maybe you're taking vacations, you're taking grandkids on trips, it's the memories, those types of things that you're building with your family. So to me, or to our team, that's more of a legacy plan. And then from there, it's the estate plan. So determining, when you look at all of your stuff, everything that you have, whether it's a farm or IRAs, money in the bank, CDs, all of these different things, we put them in a box and say, these are the documents that I need to get whatever I want to happen. Mm-hmm. So that's your estate plan is those documents that are going to make, again, whatever you want to happen with everything that you work so hard for. How do we get them to the next generation or to whoever you want them to go to in the most efficient way possible? And that doesn't always mean, some people think, well, I have to have a trust. And I'm not giving legal advice, but not everybody needs a trust. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people where you can set up your estate with just a simple will and then beneficiary designation. So just making sure you have beneficiaries on all of your accounts. So your 401ks, you need to have beneficiaries that are not your estate. IRAs, again, individual beneficiaries that are not just your estate, because then they have other options outside of just cashing it out. Mm-hmm. If you have money in the bank, you can go to the bank and add payable on death to your accounts, where now it avoids probate. So something very simple, it's free. Go fill out the form, name beneficiaries on your checking, savings, CDs, all of those things.
Really important.
And it goes directly to the beneficiary. So there's a lot of different things that you could do. Estate planning, it seems like it's a huge topic right now. Again, we do a lot of workshops. We do Social Security tax planning, general retirement, estate planning. And right now, estate planning has the biggest response. So seems to be a need out there for estate planning.
I think because we feel generous at the holiday time, don't you think? And it's, this time of the year, have we ever talked, maybe the couple to one another, have we ever decided who's going to get what? We need to get this together.
Yeah, and it could be, but honestly, it's been this year. It's been
Really?
a year of a lot of people wondering about estate planning.
Okay.
And I guess just for our listeners, we don't do wills or trusts, things like that here. We help, build the estate plan and the legacy plan. And then we work with attorneys in the Midwest that are really good at estate planning that will help you draft the documents to make whatever you want to happen.
Okay. Good to know. Very good to know. And we also have a resource for you at stonebridgelegacy.net, stonebridgelegacy.net. But to hop on and get yourself an appointment with the fellas and ladies at Stonebridge Wealth Systems, 866-295-5146. Please use that number for wherever you would like to talk to one of the experienced member of the team, 866-295-5146. They're a fiduciary firm. And whether you'd like to see someone in Omaha, Lincoln, Kearney, Grand Island, or anywhere across the Midwest, again, it's 866-295-5146 to get that connection going, okay? No cost, no obligation for this kind of a consultation.
Is your retirement being eaten up by financial termites like hidden fees, inflation, and avoidable taxes? Call today for a complimentary financial review so we can help you root out these retirement killers.
It is that time for questions. Well, scenarios, but still, I think these things cross the mind of the pre-retiree and retiree with great regularity. Mr. Gove, I've got Jeff Gove from the Kearney office here to help me conduct this particular segment. I'm Jackie Selby. All right, how about this one? 55-year-old, paid off the home, considering a cash-out refinance to access about $100,000 in equity for, say, home renovations, and they're weighing the options against taking out a personal loan. So can you speak to that a little bit? Advantages, disadvantages of each financing option?
Yeah. I guess first off, depending on when you bought the house, it's paid off.
That's right.
So I guess there
At
isn't
55 years old, that's nice.
Let's say they had a little bit of debt on it. Let's say
All right.
they owed $50,000.
Okay.
And their interest rate's 3% or 2.5%. You wouldn't want to refinance that house, obviously, and get locked in at 6% for a longer period of time. So that probably wouldn't be a very good idea. You could also do a HELOC depending on the value of your home. You may be able to pull out $100,000 to get that done. A HELOC could be interest only payments, but eventually you have to pay it off, right? The bigger question, though, you're 55 years old. When do you want to retire? Mm-hmm. Because can you have that paid off? If it's 65, can you have that paid off in 10 years? Maybe. Those would be things to think about, because if you can have all your debt paid off by the time you retire, it's going to put you in a much better position, just because your income needs are going to be a lot lower. So those are things to think about. Are you going to stay in that house long term?
Right. Is a HELOC advantageous at all? Does it have a tax benefit like a regular mortgage deduction?
So yeah, the mortgage, you're going to be able to write off the interest, but it's not going to save you that much money.
Okay.
Because you're only going to write off the interest if you're itemizing. And most people today are not itemizing their taxes.
Very good. I'm glad that we got that question. My personal comment is that's a lot of remodeling.
It really isn't that much. If you were doing a kitchen, it's very, very expensive. Cabinets are expensive. Mm-hmm. We did some work in our basement, and we were looking at quartz countertops. Mm-hmm. And it's a basement kitchen that we just don't use that much. Mm-hmm. So she's like, it's $120 a foot. And so I was doing the math. I was like, this thing's going to cost like $20,000.
My.
I'm not paying $20,000 for a
basement
countertop that I won't use.
Right.
You know? So yeah, I think it'd be fairly easy
I see.
if you had a big island in your kitchen and you've got, the other kitchen counters. I mean, you could be $20,000, $30,000 just in counters.
Oh, golly.
It adds up in a hurry.
I see. Very good information. All right. This is the number for Stonebridge, 866-295-5146. Thank you for correcting me. I guess I haven't done any home renovations in quite some time. 866-295-5146 to call Stonebridge Well Systems. How about this one? Someone with a family history of illness and chronic illness, worried about future healthcare needs. So is there anything that can be done? I mean, hybrid-wise with life insurance or long-term care rider that would be a smart choice for them if they're that concerned about their future health?
Yeah, so we would want to look at your current health, obviously, and determine, what's the best route to go. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have any health issues today,
right?
Yeah, life insurance with long-term care is definitely the way to go because you're buying a big pool of money, and then you're going to be able to take that money out to pay for your care if you need it. If you don't need it, it's a lump sum tax-free death benefit to your kids or whoever your beneficiary is. So yeah, the life insurance could be a really good idea. Now, if you already have some health issues, there could still be options for you. You could use an annuity with a long-term care rider attached to it. So there are still options. The best one, the least expensive option is going to be the life insurance with long-term care for someone that's healthy. But if you do have health issues, just know there are still options for you.
Oh, that's good. So would it possibly be asset-based coverage then? Is that what that means?
Yeah, it would be. So typically, like an annuity has this type of annuity has an income rider on it. So let's say it was going to pay you $40,000 a year guaranteed for your lifetime. Mm-hmm. And then if you go into a nursing home, it's going to double that. So it's going to be $80,000 a year for a period of time. Mm-hmm. Typically it's 3 or 5 years or something like that. And then it would go back down. But there's lots of different policy types out there. Some will, even if you don't have any money left in that, if you've taken it all out as income over the years, it would still pay. It'd still double. Some don't. So if you've taken all of your money out of it, you stay at that $40,000 in this circumstance. Lots of options, but I guess the most important thing is if you do have health issues, there could still be an option. Very good to know. And that's what you mean by hybrid. Is that what they meant by hybrid in the question? Good stuff. And the number for Stonebridge, 866. You'd think I would know this off the top of my head. 866-295-5146, 866-295-5146. Call and talk to the Stonebridge fellas and ladies about such options. 65-year-old retiree, say, living on fixed income, facing higher utility and medical bills, and they're considering reallocating part of their cash savings to a dividend-focused stock portfolio. How can they assess this move? And what about, adequacy as far as inflation's concerned, Jeff? Yeah. So there's a lot of things to consider here, and I would have to have a lot more information to give you a really good answer. Okay. But like this situation, this is why we developed the Retirement Compass and why we talk about your income planning, investments, tax, healthcare, legacy, because all of those work together. For our clients, our goal is to have this concern addressed before we get there. So we know what we're going to do for future inflation because it's not if utilities and medical bills are going to go up. We know they will, right? Everything gets more expensive. So we're going to build that into the plan. And then we're going to use, a bucket theory where we've got our safe bucket. So if you need money from the bank or whatever, your emergency fund, that's in the safety bucket. Then we have the income bucket, and we're putting enough money in that bucket to cover things like this. And then we have the growth bucket. If we have those other two buckets It allows us to invest with confidence. And that's where we're going to beat inflation, or the goal would be to beat inflation there, and put more money in that income bucket in the future if things do get more expensive.
This is very good information. I'm so glad that you're bringing that up. The the word fixed income is a common thing that people get fixated on, don't they, in retirement? I'm living on a fixed income, so now I have to drink, a different kind of coffee, or we're giving up coffee altogether because we're on a fixed income. It doesn't necessarily need to be that way, right?
Well, and we could look at fixed income from a different perspective and say, with confidence, I'm living on a fixed income, and that it's a good thing because we've developed a plan with that income bucket that says, this is my fixed income. And so we're not trying to live within a low fixed income. We're going to look at, okay, what are your goals? How much are you spending now? Mm-hmm. How much do you think you're going to spend in retirement? And I'm going to tell you, you're probably not going to spend less in retirement than you're spending now. You're also probably not going to spend a lot more because our spending habits are pretty locked in. By the time we hit 65,
yes,
you're probably
I agree.
spending what you're going to spend.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would say, well, I'm not going to travel. I don't have to commute to work anymore, which is true, but that money's probably going to be spent somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're eating out a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But we want to develop that income bucket to give you the income that you actually need, not suppress your spending to a level that I can't spend over this because it's a fixed income. Mm-hmm. We want to be excited that you're on a fixed income, that it doesn't matter what the stock market does, that money's coming in every month. So, when you turn on the news and it says the market fell by 2% today, there is no anxiety because your income is insured, essentially.
That is a wonderful perspective. Maybe it's just my perspective that when people say that we're on a fixed income, it's the low.
Mm-hmm. And I think generally that's what it is.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be.
Good. Because I bet people are in better, this is just my opinion, they're in better shape than they think they are.
Yeah. Well, and some of the people that have a pension, like school administrators, for example, have really nice benefits. They worked, got to their rule of 85 in Nebraska, where their age plus years of service equals 85. They can retire, take a pension. Well, they're on a fixed income, but that fixed income might be, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month. And if they only need $6,000, I'm excited that I'm on a fixed income if that's the case.
Sure. This is good stuff, Jeff. Here's the phone number for Stonebridge, 866-295-5146, 866-295-5146. Please get in touch. Please make an appointment. Sit down, no cost, no obligation. Do you have any closing comments other than Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas. Hope everybody stays warm. And enjoy the holidays.